Speaker, I hope the House will forgive me by trying to speak to the global context of this bill. After all, this is the European Union Withdrawal Act, and I come of that generation that was stung by the fact that Dean Acheson in 1962 said Great Britain lost an empire but has not yet found a role. I was lucky enough to get into this House, Mr. Speaker, when there was a generation still here of people like Dennis Healey and Ted Heath, and people that actually fought on the beaches at Anzio and the invasion against Hitler, and those people were still here. And that generation had seen 2 world wars, and they created, not just in Britain, but across the Western world, they created the United Nations, they created NATO, and they created the European coal and steel community that became an integrated Europe. And they did so to keep the peace, to keep the prosperity, and to actually face up to the challenges of that global environment. In my time in this House, Mr. Speaker, I have seen that global environment becoming more challenging, more frightening, more terrifying. Indeed, it is the most terrifying time to be a Member of Parliament. The responsibility we have to look after our constituents when their jobs are all being undermined by different kinds of contracts and uncertainties, and the old certainties swept away. But those old certainties swept away for us as a United Kingdom. Now, I believe passionately that our country has to be part of a global community and leading that global community. And when we joined the European Union in 1975, thanks to brave people like Ted Heath, leading the Conservative Party, changing the Conservative Party from being anti-Europe to being pro-Europe. His generation was one that I have to say, cross-party, I admired. A breed of politicians who, for their time, stepped up to the plate and showed that leadership. What I am very concerned about, Mr. Speaker, is we are now entering into an unknown world. We have not only a withdrawing from the European Union, but the implications for that in the United Nations, whether we will hold on to a seat on the Security Council, whether our impact on the world, whether our force in the world will be very substantial at all. The fact of the matter is we had found a new role in the world as a member, an active member and leader of the European Union. And I judge this debate today on the fact that I want our country to be successful in terms of meeting the challenges economically, meeting them politically, and I believe that we could only do that, and will only do that, through very close cooperation across Europe in the European Union. That is why I cannot support anything that takes us out of the European Union. I remain convinced that we should be in the European Union. And also on a micro level, a bottom-up level. My sacred duty as a Member of Parliament is to come to this place and make sure that the health, welfare and prosperity of my constituents is not harmed in any way, that it's improved. Every piece of evidence that I've seen from the Bank of England, the London School of Economics, the independent think tanks, convinced me of what I believed when I was 10 years chairman of a select committee, that evidence-based policy is the best kind of policy. And all the evidence shows that my constituents on any deal will be worse off and poorer out of the European Union than in. And so I believe, Mr. Speaker, I believe that this deal does not deliver what we need or want. The Chancellor is looking at me carefully. He's criticised me in the past with synthetic passion. This isn't synthetic, Chancellor. This is me with a heartfelt plea as our global position as a nation, as a parliament that should be representing the people that we represent from our constituencies. I do not want a poorer Britain. I do not want poorer constituents. This deal will deliver both those sad outcomes, and I urge this House to vote down this bill and this legislation.